Welcome to the Best of the Mark Berman Radio Show. This is my podcast. Today, my interview with Jeff LaBar, guitarist from Cinderella. Sadly, we lost Jeff in 2021. And as of today, 2024, Cinderella does not tour any longer. But what a great band. And you'll hear about their history in Northeast Philadelphia. What? Come on. And so, keep in mind all references are from 2011.
My special guest is part of a band that sold over 20 million records. Their Night Songs album achieved triple platinum, selling 50,000 copies, and that's per week. Currently out on tour, Cinderella is celebrating 25 years of rock and roll. The website, Cinderella.net. Please welcome Cinderella guitarist Jeff LaBar. Jeff, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
So listen, Cinderella, worldwide, played all around the world, but we're on here in Atlantic City. So we've got to start by talking about the local roots. Jeff LaBar, where are you from?
I'm from Upper Darby.
Upper Darby, outside of Philadelphia. So, do you remember the first room that you played before you got into Cinderella? Do you remember playing the clubs up in that area? Do you remember playing some of those places?
Yeah, absolutely. Do I remember? Yeah. We played, before I was in Cinderella, I was in a band for a little while called Precious Metal, who later turned into White Fox. And we used to open for Cinderella at, like, the Empire and the Galaxy. And a few other clubs, but mostly those two clubs. When I got into Cinderella in '85, we pretty much just played those two clubs. We played the Galaxy in Somerdale, New Jersey, every Saturday, and we rehearsed upstairs. And then we do the Empire in Northeast Philly twice a month.
Berman breaking in the Empire Rock Club was across the street from my house in Northeast Philadelphia, right across Roosevelt Boulevard. Back to Jeff LaBar.
Okay, so that's great. That's segue now. I could segue into this. We're very passionate about Cinderella here in South Jersey and Philly. I mean, because you're local, even though you're a worldwide mega band, people want to claim that where you're from. So do you consider yourself a Philly band or a South Jersey band? Clear it up.
Well, I guess since we rehearsed in South Jersey and spent most of our time in South Jersey, we're probably a South Jersey band, but we all lived in Delaware County. So,
yeah.
We're Delco boys, but I guess Cinderella is a South Jersey band.
Okay, so you practiced in South Jersey and you ate pizza at Pika's. I got you. Yeah, I know. So, can we talk about that night at the Empire Rock Club, which used to be at Boulevard Pools at Tyson and the Boulevard, and there was an amusement park there originally, and now it's a shame to drive by it. It hurts me, so I can't even talk about it because it's not the Empire anymore. But about that night when Bon Jovi came in.
I wasn't in the band yet.
No, that's right.
Story, but I wasn't in the band yet.
No, when he came in.
They were recording Fahrenheit.
Yep.
300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yep.
They recorded in Philly. So the story goes that John and Richie went out to the Empire, saw Cinderella when the other guys were in the band. Michael Kelly Smith was in the band, and they really dug the band. And John went back to the label and raved about him. And Derek Shulman at Polygram, who I just saw last night, by the way.
Oh.
He also signed Bon Jovi, and he said, "Yeah, I heard their demo, not so much." He said, "Go see them live." So he did. He went out to see Cinderella live, and had a few issues, and those issues were cleared up by me joining the band.
That's where I was going. We were going there. That's right. The reason that you and I think who came in with you, it was part of a deal that, look, we want to sign you, but we want to replace a couple members, bring a couple other guys in, and you became part of Cinderella because of that. Yeah,
that's apparently how it went down. Yeah, me and quite a few other people auditioned, including local heroes like Reggie Wu, Dave Sabo, a bunch of people auditioned along with drummers as well. And me and Jim Dernick, who's also local from South Jersey, got the gig. Played around. We recorded and played around for about another year. This was in '85. We didn't start recording night songs till '86, and made a lot of demos until we came up with the record. And Jim Dernick didn't work out in the studio, and we ended up with a studio drummer. And while Tom was mixing the record in L.A. with the producer, Andy Johns, Eric and I auditioned drummers again. And that's how we came up with Freight Tory.
And now it's Cinderella history. It's all been written, and this is the band today.
Yeah, it's all the same four guys.
And that's amazing. How are you, people, when you get to see Cinderella and you see they're on tour, that's what we're talking about. You go out, you're seeing Cinderella, you're seeing Tom, you're seeing Jeff, you're seeing the band, and this is what people come out for. Before we talk about the worldwide stuff, have you guys played Atlantic City?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we played Atlantic City last year. I think we play Atlantic City every time we go on tour.
Well, I love that that's a stop on it because... you know what? This is a true music town and getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Okay, we ask everybody on this show. We ask everybody on this show the same question, and you're going to get this. Jeff LaBar, are you ready? Let's go back in your personal history. What was your first guitar?
Was my first guitar?
Yeah.
I believe it was a Tiesco. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It might be just Tiesco. It was like a Sears guitar, and it came with a matching amp. And the amp was like an oval, not an oval, but it was round. It was like a not a coffee table, like an end table. And it was round. It was round with a flat top, and the speaker faced up, facing a cone. So it shot out.
Oh, we love this stuff.
It was my brother's. It was my older brother Jack's first guitar. So he got a new guitar. That became my first guitar. His second guitar became my second guitar, and so on and so forth.
And a lot of people, you'd be really surprised, their first guitar was what you alluded to, a Silvertone, the Sears. I mean, a lot of people started with the Sears Silvertone, and they all had Silvertone amps, and a lot of them came with the guitar. What are you playing on stage right now?
On tour with me, I got two Les Pauls.
No.
A Strat, a Tele. Gibson double neck, and Washburn acoustic.
Now the reason we ask,
and an old Kramer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I brought one old Kramer out of retirement. The one I got, the one my mom bought me when I was 20.
The reason we ask is because in '78, Atlantic City became the promised land for musicians to play in the house bands and all this stuff. And today, they still live here, and this show does have a lot of people listening that really want to know, what people are playing and what their first guitar was. And we're not going to ask you if you're using Ernie Ball strings, you know what I mean? But we're not going to go there. But we do have to ask that. So now let's talk about Cinderella. You toured the world. Was there a band that you guys played along with or on tour with that you really had a blast? Tell us about that.
Back in the day, our first tour was with our first big tour was with David Lee Roth. Now you can, and then right after that we went to Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet tour. So you can only imagine what those were like. I mean, it was 80% of the audience was beautiful women. So that was awesome. It's always great to tour with Poison. We've done that like 4 or 5 times. That's always a lot of fun.
When you said I can't imagine the Slippery When Wet tour with Bon Jovi. No.
It was plus the mid-'80s, too, so you can just imagine.
No, I can't. I would love to. I would. No, I actually would love to. Actually, no, I can't.
I just wish I could remember it.
Yeah, right. Okay. I hear you. How about venues? You played around the world, and did you ever walk out on stage, Jeff? We're talking to Jeff LaBar from Cinderella. You ever walk out on stage and you're looking up and you pinch yourself and you say, I can't freaking believe I'm playing this place or this venue or this festival? Yeah,
I still remember the first arena I walked into, the very first show that we played with David Lee Roth. walked into the arena and just looked around in amazement, saying, "Oh my God," saying exactly what you just said. I can't believe I'm playing here. And as I'm staring up at the ceiling and looking at the stage as they started to build the stage and all, from behind me walks up David Lee Roth. Now, this is the very first show. This is Hampton, Virginia. And I turn around, and Dave Lee is walking up behind me with two security guards around him. And I remember clear as day. He said, "Hey, welcome aboard. It's good to have you. Anything you need, all you have to do is ask." And I just stared at him.
Wow.
But about a week into the tour, I did. I asked him. I said, "Hey, Dave, remember you said anything we need?" You know, he said, "Yeah, what do you got on your mind, kid?" I said, "How about throwing us a few more lights?" He goes, "How about selling a few more records?"
Oh, is that what he said? Diamond Dave, he's sharp.
The next night, we had more lights.
Oh, I'm sure. So what's up for Cinderella now? What are you guys doing? Studio or just touring?
Mm-hmm.
You going back into the studio?
No, we're touring.
So you're staying out on the road. You just want to go out and play the gigs.
That's the fun part.
It's not too shabby, man. and you got a huge tour schedule because before
that studio stuff, man, that's work. that's too hard work.
You're right. No, you're going out and you're partying every night. Of course, you know what? Playing every night, it is pleasurable. I know you guys love it. I've seen you, and I've never seen you in Atlantic City. That's crazy. But I saw you in the early days. I've seen you in the later years. And, yeah, it is fun, and you do enjoy it. And you know what? And it's great because you even come up on Monster Ballads. Don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, on Monster Ballads. You believe that?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
It's amazing. So anyway, Cinderella.
There's a lot of compilation CDs out. We're on a lot of them. Hey, I get pissed when we're not on one of them.
No.
Pick one up and say, "What? We're not on this?" When it's some '80s compilation, it offends me when we get left out.
There's some insight from Jeff LaBar. See, now you know how he personally feels. So if you're in a record store, well, you're not. There are no more record stores. See, this is showing my age. If you're looking online and there's new compilation out and they're not on it, Jeff LaBar's pissed. And you can think about that right now. I want to thank you. This is Jeff LaBar from Cinderella. A few minutes on the Mark Berman Show here on News Talk 1400 WOND. Jeff, I want to thank you.
Mark, thank you.
We listen to the Mark Berman Radio Show.
Why? Most of what we find on terrestrial radio to be stale and pretty much sucks.
The Mark Berman Show sucks less.
Listen anywhere. We live in Los Angeles and listen at BermanLive.com.